Good night. Welcome to another edition of Just Reasoning. Tonight we're doing like a one-on-one reasoning so far. Some people might come in and out, but things came up with some of our regulars. So tonight I mean, especially one reason. Mr. Adidas. I thought Special was a marketing rep for Nike, but it looked like Nike never sent out the money. So I'm going with Adidas tonight. What's up with Adidas tonight, Dr. Special?
Well, you have to understand, I gear up for fat everything, Nike versus Adidas, yeah, man.
Why not?
Sometime next year, I think it's February or March, I remember when.
Okay, right. So you're going back a road. Vaccine and go out the road.
Yeah, man, me is a vaccine and run. So when everybody else deal with them thing and joke up, everybody else joke up and get them thing. Me touch the road because I know so they don't have none.
Hey, here's a fat I give a vaccine at the gate.
Well, if me got gate I hear the security cough, me gone, And there is security cough, me gone.
Well, we're talking about some old Jamaican brands before we go live here.
Yeah.
Like Bata. Want to hear about Bata? And North Star. You remember North Star? Yeah, you're too young for North Star.
North Star. Me not know North Star. You know?
Ah, jeez. See, maybe that was poor people's shoes. Maybe, the rich Kingston has never have it.
Me know a Lotto.
Okay. Lotto. How could you not remember North Star?
No, North Star.
Google it. And special educator told me something tonight. Ganzi. In Jamaica, they used to put on a Ganzi, and that's a t-shirt. Come to find out, it's a brand name Ganzi. Yeah.
People don't know.
Yeah, so, you learn something every day.
Up on the front, everything.
And probably Marina too, right? That must have a brand name Marina. So why would they call a tank top Marina? Anyway, so these are the important things we need to discuss.
one more brand where they do it on the road. And called Lada. I don't know if you ever hear about a Lada.
Yeah, the car?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Lada still make?
Of course, Lada. If you ever see it now, almost look like Bima.
Almost.
Almost look like Bima. Yes, man. Lada used to be the wicked taxi them.
Yeah, man. So, Lada kind of bust after I left Jamaica. It's all after I go back. I started seeing Lada. When I was there, Austin, Cambridge, and them things used to run the road. See? Like Uncle Lee.
Yes, man. Tough guy. Any car relate, not good again. Any car that lick.
Like a bulldozer.
Again. Yeah, man. Tough.
Anyway, so we have a range of things to talk about tonight. So let's run through some headlines. Hold on, I see like a late person jumping in here. Miss Jojo. So she come in.
Forward.
Yeah, she at work, so she might be. Okay, that's a still picture. I thought that was live. Jojo, what you say? Anyway, we'll start talking. So.
Y'all hear me clearly?
Yeah, man, we can hear you. Can't see you though. Are you there? Oh, okay. All right. You look like you're looking over your shoulder. The boss will come.
I'm looking out the door in case somebody comes in.
Jojo, when the Nike work is Adidas?
Adidas.
When is it? When is the dance? Yeah, Nike.
That's normally February, but I haven't seen the flyer. Yeah.
I think I've seen the flyer.
It's normally February.
I'm an Adidas man. I haven't put on a pair of Nikes in probably 20 years.
I've only bought one pair of Nikes in my life.
Yeah. Probably longer than that. It's probably since high school I've bought some Nikes. And I bought some Jordans, but they were Nike at the time. So anyway. I don't know. I mean, the yard thing, Adidas is all I saw around the place, so that's what I've always liked. Anyway, Dancehall news. Any Tommy Lee fans in here? You like Tommy Lee, Jojo?
Yeah, man.
You like Tommy Lee?
Uncle D, man.
Yeah, you like that kind of devil music?
No, I'm not listening to devil party. No, I'm not listening to devil
I don't agree with the devil thing.
No,
but
he's talented.
I'm too old for Tommy Lee. I don't vibe off that stuff. But anyway, he got arrested.
Again?
Yeah. So he got arrested, I think yesterday, on a gun charge. And so we'll see how that turns out. But he was in jail for a while, wasn't he? Like years.
No, he's never done years. He's done months one time because he was mixed up with some lotto thing one time.
Some scamming, yes.
Yeah. My regular over there, now they might as well give me one room around there and say, that.
Yeah, but Tommy Lee always in trouble. I mean, you sleep with the devil, and that I could go on. Anyway, I heard he had a gun charge, and maybe I'm coming from a U.S. mentality, like a gun charge is a charge, but not something you generally get hold for years for. But it's like.
It depends.
Well, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
It probably depends.
It depends.
I'm sure it depends. But Laden, the dancehall artist there, what is gonna be my time to shine? Him. He got 4 years today for a gun charge. So
was that just possession?
Yeah. So that seemed like a long time to me. So from the little bit I read about it, there was some illegal COVID party going on.
Okay.
And the police show up and, I guess it was running or something and then throw a gun. And then they find the gun and from that they put him in, jail and what have you. I think I was back in October. And he was sentenced today to 4 years in jail for that. That don't seem kind of enough.
It depends. So again, just like here in the States, money talks, yes walks. If you don't have the best lawyers, you might not get the best deal. Time
to shine, never make no money.
Stop it. If you have a record, of course, that might mean you get more time. But
he didn't have a record. I mean, he had some records, but not the record.
Stop it. Not a police record.
No, not the police. Yeah.
There's I don't know what it is. There's just something about added gun charges, the sentencing. A lot of people know and might not know that I was briefly incarcerated, and part of my probation was that I couldn't be around guns, but my charge had nothing to do with guns. So I'm like, where did that come from? So they just have this thing around guns.
That's U.S. though. Jamaica.
But I feel like it's everywhere.
First of all,
it's everywhere.
I know nothing about Jamaica's gun laws. Is it like extremely hard to get a legal? So why couldn't Laden and Tommy Lee have a record and all that? Right. Why couldn't they have legal guns? What I mean is it?
It's not difficult to get a gun because it's about.
I mean, I'm talking of course you can get one. Come off the plane, you get one, but a legal one.
Yeah, about 12,000 Jamaican dollars for apply for a license to get a firearm. And most of them now want to pay that. Them decide for just
12,000 Jamaican. How much? About $5?
No, about $93. About $93 that.
Yeah, for a license.
Okay. So take it from somebody whose ex-husband is a police officer in Montego Bay, and he's trying to help a DJ here in Houston obtain a gun license and obtain a firearm, and
in Jamaica.
Yeah, and I mean the DJ person is a born Jamaican. He just happens to live here in Houston, and I mean it's a lot of red tape. It's a lot of stuff to deal with.
but I mean, versus 4 years in prison. I don't know. Anyway,
And you know,
I
and
don't know
I
all the
really just,
details.
even though, even though they might catch you with a gun, you know, when they take out the clip, they must take out each bullet out tight, you know, and each bullet
Is a year.
It's a offense.
Yes.
Offense.
Yeah, because looking at Laden's charge. I mean, they have charges for the gun, charges for the ammunition.
Yes.
So it was 4 years for the gun, 18 months for the ammunition, served concurrently. So I'm not going to. It's time not coming to shine for another 4 years. Anyway, I don't know much about Jamaica's gun laws. If somebody is an expert on Jamaica's gun laws, come on, let's talk about it. That seemed like Wally. And why the man just couldn't get a license? I'm sure they probably have other issues. Anyway,
let me ask you a question. What would have been acceptable to you, since you think
for me
a lot? Yeah.
All right.
Like
I would expect 4 years, like for robbery, right? Or a gun offense, like not like you killed somebody, but maybe you shot at somebody or something. Okay. But for simply possessing it, I would think something like that would be, I don't know, at most a year, and a heavy fine or something like that. Okay. But 4 years and you didn't actually do anything to anybody, it just, unless I'm missing some details, I'm sure I am. But that just sounds like a lot. Illegal gun possession, you get 4 years.
Let me tell you something. You see, if you rob a place like a grocery store, you can get 20 years for that, and even though nobody not get hurt,
Sure.
So,
yes.
So
yes. That makes sense.
4 years light.
Robbery.
4 years light. Just for the gun.
Robbery, I get. Whether you pop it off or not. I mean, you put in a lot of lives at stake, and anything could have happened, and you pull it, and So that I would understand. Okay. But in Laden's case, I didn't hear all that. It just say he had possession of a gun and he didn't have a license. That's all kind of holy.
Yeah, man. So possession important, man. Don't have it. If you don't have it legally, don't have it.
The license, Laden. Yeah. Jeez. Anyway, that's your Jamaican people. Speaking of guns, you hear them? U.S. ban Adams. You hear that?
No, I never hear that.
Yeah, man. Renita Adams, former superintendent of the police. Bad man. He's a police, but bad man.
What is soup though?
It's basically from an incident back in like 2003 where they were searching for somebody and something happened and they end up killing some people. Police end up killing some people. And it went to trial and everything and they got off. But just a couple of days ago, U.S. Secretary of State, and I don't know why it's coming up right now. Maybe it's because Trump is about to leave office and they're just trying to do whatever they can. They banned Adams from traveling to the U.S. Adams and about 4 other people. Everybody who was involved in that case, all the police, all of them who got off, they cannot travel here. So.
Because there was a case that I heard of in Jamaica with Adams where they were actually, it's something like what happened to Breonna Taylor, where they went to the wrong house, kick off the door, and shoot the man in their house. And then I'm walk out and tell the lady, sorry ma'am, sorry, we didn't mean to do it. And just
it's all like the same thing. It might be the same case. Yeah.
And the police them never really get arrested when people are march the street and protest, because it never happened, but I've never heard of the case after that. So it could be the same case. It could be the same case.
Yeah, it probably is. I mean, it's someplace in Clarendon.
Yeah, it was a politician place.
Yeah.
He was a big guy in the community. Yeah, man. I'll go to the same case.
Yeah, man. And they got off. They got off from the Jamaican justice system. But hey, Can't come America. So it go.
Can't go England go on with the foolishness, man.
Oh man. Yeah, so I saw that's a good thing.
Honestly, we don't really want Adams up here now because here all crime go yard. It's the police. A police pronounce people that are yard and no doctor. Right, so that's a problem. That's a problem for me. Police shoot you and say, "You're dead, my youth." You have to say, "Yeah, me dead." I'm a doctor pronounce you dead. Right? And the procedure after they shoot you and pronounce you dead, then I have no coroner come and come check you out. A police just throw you in a jeep and go drop you off a mark. I said, serious. So, maybe we don't really need them kind of guy find because he thinks the police is law.
I mean,
law.
So, Jamaican police, that God never had an incident with Jamaican police. I just see them go on. People think foreign police bad. Jamaican police bad enough. Even just the way they talk to people. Even if nothing come out of it. Just like if them stop. Hey boy. The way they just disrespect people on a regular basis. You walk
down the street and, hey boy, give me a sword.
Yeah.
So, and I just eat that. Better, man.
The Jamaica have a Black Lives Matter movement. It would be a Black Lives Matter. It would be, all of them.
That is literally all lives matter. That's all lives matter. Right?
Yes. Yeah, but I don't know. Jamaican police out of order, man. And it's the same thing. They don't face consequences on them, the thing. So,
So,
I'm good.
Because there's still the spot check where I don't even think that is a law. But you can't just mind your own business. I drive down the street and a police just feel like you need to stop you and search your car. Just search your car. Them the things that are right. Yeah, mind your own business as a law-abiding citizen. And the police can just pull you over and search your car.
That remind me of so me and Nikki went to Dominican Republic.
Must be nice.
It was a long time ago, but way back when money didn't run.
All right. It's still cousin then
when you drive around the DR, it look just like Jamaica, right? So, and then most of the people black same way. So we're driving, and I was trying to. We had just gotten there. I'm trying to find a hotel, and we got lost. So I'm driving around some kind of bush area. And so we're driving, and then there's a roadblock. And you see people stand up outside in jeans and t-shirts with long guns, stopping every car. No police uniform, nothing indicating that the car not even said police. And just stopping everybody. And so, I said, oh Lord, what is this now? So that after we creep and get up there and they come over and they're talking something in Spanish and then, I just, I don't understand what you're saying. And then him realized that, we were, tourists and just kind of let us go. But I didn't know how that was going to end up. You're just driving down a road. And, it's not a lot of, it's not like a very busy area. And you see people in jeans, tennis shoes, t-shirts with guns stopping every car. Man, I'm afraid to say.
Yes, man. Maybe jeans and t-shirts after them uniform over there.
Hey, I was so glad to get past those people. Anyway, Jamaican police. So if we go on better. You see James Harden last night? You see him come out? Hold on.
Input on some weight, man.
Hold on. We have to, for full context, we have to share this on the screen a little bit so people can see what we're talking about.
Maybe for the price of one Harden, we'll get two.
Yeah. So that is Fat Harden. So man.
A couple months ago we see him, you know? Not even 2 months. When the bubble is done? In about September?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, but a couple months.
2 months ago, and rude boy swallow and playmate like that, man.
Here, so here's the thing. I mean, James Harden. Yeah, that picture. That's the picture that's going all around. When I actually watched him on the court, it didn't look that bad. But he's somebody who love his free time, and it don't look like him take basketball as serious as he should. I'm sure he worked to be that great of a player. I'm sure you work hard, but just look at his body type and all that. I mean, it doesn't seem like he takes it as serious as he should. So
it reminds me of Ronaldinho when Ronaldinho was playing for Barcelona. And after one break, when Ronaldinho come back, he swell up. The man say, yo, you're not gonna work in my G, cause you're too you can't move. And it is trying game because, if anybody know Ronaldinho is a quick sharp turner. And when you have so much weight, you can't move as quickly and swiftly and over the ball as you used to, and it killing game.
The best with the ball I have ever seen in my life.
Man. Yeah, man. Ronaldinho.
Yeah, I can't think of anybody who. Oh man, it was something to watch.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But in put on the weight and this term career after that, nobody wouldn't sign him because he loved to party. I don't know if Harden is like that. But
Ronaldinho,
Ronaldinho would leave a championship game this evening, and by tonight he's in the club. And if he come a train in the morning, right? So I guess. I mean,
some stories going around today. We don't know how true it is, but there's this thing about Harden want to get traded, and I saw a bag of rumors circulating around that, which I don't believe all of it. But some story come out today how the Rockets kind of just bend to his will for whatever him said. And they said that how the Rockets will plan their travel schedule based on cities where James Harden likes to party. So basically, so how true that is, I don't know.
No,
but they said something like Harden, like LA or Atlanta, if he said they will like stay at extra nights and then leave in the morning so Harden can party. That would be hard to believe that the team actually do that. But he does have that rep. Harden love the streets. And so it's one of a strip club wings in him. That's what I guess is in there. So, man. So
me I go send him a letter and invite him to First Friday the next time we have it. Big and serious. Very next time, because if him love to party like that, he will come.
Hey, Westbrook is the dancehall one. I ain't love dancehall, but him gone. So anyway.
I don't know. I want plane flight, I know people fly come to Houston just for First Friday,
Big facts.
Yeah. So I mean we just link Westbrook and say, yo, my G, big things are going on in Houston. Come back. Forward back. My bad. Forward back.
Forward back.
Yeah.
Fat Harden, if you do better. Anyway, hey, Joe Biden won again for the fourth time. Win again.
With more votes this time.
Yeah, it's just this democracy, man. It's just it's too much nonsense. Are we talking to me? All right. No, man. So if they just had a simple thing like who win the most votes, you win the election. The way every other democracy works, but they have all these steps. All these different states, and they have to certify it, and you can challenge it in court, and then you go to electoral college, and you can challenge that too. You can take it to the Supreme Court. So, like every week since November 3rd, Joe Biden has won. In this,
Yeah, just
and here's the thing. Donald, and this really should be criminal. It really should be, because he knows he has lost, and all that he's doing with this is giving his people false hope, so he can raise money off their false hope. He has literally raised almost $300 million from people who think that some magical way he's going to, sue enough people to become the president. It's just that man is such a thief. He's so many things, but he's just a flat out thief. That really should be illegal. People just send them money for him to challenge it in court, but he does not have to do any specific thing with him. Can't use that money however he wants to. That's nonsense, man. So
most of the suits, if you listen to them, there's no specific indication that there was fraud, They just dance around the idea that there is fraud, but they have no concrete evidence that there was ever any fraud.
They have literally said in court, this is not a fraud case. So what they say in court is different from what they say in the media. Yeah. So when they're in court in front of a judge, and are under penalty of perjury and all that stuff, they say Rudy Giuliani said to a judge, this is not a fraud case. But now when they're coming to the media, it's fraud, it's fraud, it's fraud, it's fraud, and then people sending their hard-earned $50, $100. That shit should be criminal, man. Anyway. So we're counting the days. At the next date, January 6th, I guess in Congress they can challenge it some kind of way. So that's the next thing they're building up to. But on January 20th, 2021, hopefully this madness will be over and get these people up out of here, please. Jeez. Don't make JoJo's vote be in vain. Jeez. Or she might never vote again.
And Donald no start pocket. I don't know why I take him so long yet. It's like a guy who go on a trip. It's a guy who go on a trip and he knows a trip next week. And he not really plan for pack until the day before. Leave. And he might learn some stuff.
That sounds like a guy I know very well. Anyway, JoJo.
Yes.
You taking the vaccine?
Am I taking?
Answer the question, man. Yeah, taking.
No.
Flat out, no. Under no circumstances.
No.
Ever?
No. They can't pay me to take it. Really?
No price.
This is how I feel about vaccines.
20 grand.
Add
What's your price,
zeros.
JoJo?
Add 2 more zeros, maybe. I'll think about it.
Okay, all right. 2 million. Okay, man.
I'm one of those people, knock on wood. I've never taken the flu shot, and I've never gotten the flu. And from what I remember,
this ain't the flu, man. All right, go on.
Do you know how many people the flu kills each year?
I have a comeback to that, but go on and talk your things. I saw discipline you. Go on.
Oh Lord. So from what I remember in school, a vaccine, and correct me if I'm wrong, because maybe things have changed, I don't know. From what I remember, a vaccine is you're literally putting what you're trying to prevent, a little dose of it into your body, so
not
that
this
your
vaccine.
body can,
right? Yeah, this vaccine doesn't work that way.
Okay,
yeah.
But there are vaccines.
The
body.
The flu vaccine works that way. This vaccine does not.
Gotcha.
So this is not putting some corona in you so your body can fight it off. This one works differently.
Gotcha. Okay, but even with that being said,
so all right. So now you're thinking about it.
No.
All right, go on. Okay.
I'm what they considered an essential worker. Thank God I've been able to work through the pandemic.
Oh, you're next in line. So it's healthcare workers, the elderly, and then essential workers step up. Step up to the plate.
The reason I say that is, once again, knock on wood, I've been so exposed to possibly catching it, and I haven't caught it. I'm like, I feel like I don't need it. I feel like other people want to take it, that want to take it, can take
people
it.
People come in and breathe on you all the time, and they don't.
You're
people come in with
right. And
they don't come in with masks.
Oh my God, all the time.
You don't mandate masks in that place?
We have signs everywhere, but it's not a law. We can't make people do it.
Well, tell them you're not serving them. No shoot, no service, no mask, no service.
That's exactly what I do on my shift.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah,
anyway,
I'm not into, you know,
all right, so
my dad. I don't put in my body like that.
Yeah, well, you know, Bernard probably drinking a Corona vaccine shake right now.
Yeah, right.
All right, so let's talk about this.
Okay, what you gotta say?
Herd immunity. So, or as dumbass calls it, herd mentality. that would be true. So, herd immunity is basically where enough of the population is immune to an infectious disease that it doesn't spread, right? So, how can you achieve herd immunity? You can achieve it by as much people getting infected with it as possible. And so after getting it, they become immune. Or there is a vaccine to protect people from getting it. So those are the two ways in which herd immunity is possible. In order for us to get beyond this, where we're having masks and social distance and can't go dance and all these things, we will have to achieve herd immunity. So the problem with the first one, with mass infections to get a bunch of people sick, is that yes, the flu kills a lot of people in this country, you know, in the world, but this is 10 times more deadly than the flu, right? Just as far as like the people who get it, a lot more of them die than people who get flu. And it is also a lot more infectious. So if somebody has it, it's much easier for them to spread it to other people. And the fact that you can spread it without even having any symptoms. You know, we could all have it right now and have no symptoms and go and spread it to people. So it was a few months back, somebody did the calculation. I said, if we were to take this route of just, and another problem that with they heard it with the getting everybody infected approach is that we don't know that if somebody gets COVID, that they can't get it again, because it hasn't happened a lot, but I've heard of at least a couple cases where one person got it and they got over it, got it again and died the second time. So
it was worse the second time. That's
we just don't know that it behaves the way that some of these other things behave. So if you look at the infection rate, like the amount of people who, you know, if you look at the infection rate and then look at the death rate for people who have it. If we were to just say, and this is really what Trump was trying to do, just, you know, whatever, live your life, do your thing, party, keep your business open, doing, you know, all that, go back to regular life, and we will get the herd immunity that way, it would be millions of people that die with that approach. Not only would millions of people die using that approach, but it would overwhelm our hospital system.
Right.
You know, I saw something that I don't remember the numbers. I said it on a show a while back. I just don't remember it right now. But this country has about 330 million people in the country, and the amount of total hospital beds that we have is a very small number in comparison to that. So our hospital system would become overwhelmed. So the goal is herd immunity, and we have two paths to get there. You know, either take the vaccine, and it doesn't mean that every single person has to take the vaccine. Right. Looking at something earlier, and it said like 90% of the population has to be immune to this before it like really goes down. So if, you know, it's cool to say, you know, I'm just going to chill and make other people take it, I'll be in the 10%. You know, hey, I get that. And you know, it's anyway. So, Dr. Special, do you think the get everybody sick and become immune is a reasonable way in which we can possibly get through this, or we would have to mass vaccinate the population? What do you think, Doc?
Well,
You're a doctor tonight.
We have to mass vaccinate. That is the only way we get to get through this. I mean, if you look at the history of diseases that we've had before, you know, even after doing all of that, for example, measles, right? That is one way we dealt with it, all right? Vaccinate everybody's vaccine from your baby coming up, right? But it still hits some part of the population, especially with some people who did not get the measles vaccine when they were a baby. Because people don't know you can still get the measles. But the reason why we haven't had outbreaks this bad is because most people are vaccinated, right? We're going to have the same problem with COVID. And it's just going to be, and I can see it as just a regular vaccine that kids get when they're born, like all the other vaccines, smallpox, you know, measles, mumps, all of those. You just get vaccines for them, right? And this is how a futuristic civilization deal with illness, because there's always going to be another one. People think COVID is going to be it, and we're going to have a breakout again, and we're going to have to develop another vaccine. It's just going to continue. It's just going to continue because, you know, mutation is inevitable. Everybody mutates. Humans mutate, viruses mutate, everybody mutates. But, you know, some viruses are just more deadly than others. The only way we can protect everybody is vaccine. Vaccine everybody. Vaccinate everybody. There's vaccine all over the place. Right? That is the only way to protect it. So it is reasonable to answer your question. It's reasonable.
So you're going to take it?
Of course I'm going to take it. I believe in vaccine. I believe in it. I mean, unfortunately, me there way down on the list. Way down on the list. Right?
So if you could take it tonight, you'll take it?
Of course I'll take the vaccine. I'll take it. Right. And everybody don't understand. You see, for this to work, you have to have enough of the population that cannot be infected for it to die out.
90% is what that's what.
Right. So that's the only way it's going to happen. If most people don't take it, the vaccine won't work. It won't work. Right. So I mean, it's just a one-way street right now. You either have to take it if you want everybody to go and be safe and everything go back to normal, or you don't take it and risk everybody else. That is how it is.
Yeah, that's it's really just kind of, as I read that article today, just saying we will have to get the herd immunity, and there are two paths to get there. You get a whole bunch of people sick and infected, and whoever dead, and then there's no guarantee that those who have it and got over it can't get it again, or mass vaccination. So there's a lot that is being done to convince people. I'm still, and maybe it's just my circle on social media or what have you. I'm hearing a lot of resistance to taking it. So if my circle is representative of the population, which it's not, then about 1 out of 100 people would take it.
The problem with the mistrust is that a lot of people probably still think that Donald Trump has something to do with the virus or the vaccine, and their mistrust of the government from history, of course, you know, with the syphilis thing that they did way back. This is where all of this came from. This is where all of this come from. So when you mistrust your government, anything that they say do, you're not going to do it. right?
Yeah,
And you know, we're going to have to change that point of view, right? Because most people are going to have to understand that if all of us die, there will be no government because they're going to die too. So you have to understand that there can't be a mass conspiracy to kill off all of us. It can't be. As much as people think that is the reason they're not going to take it, because they think it's another conspiracy to kill off all of us, or even to implant microchip, which is one of the craziest things I've heard. Right?
See your microchip, yeah?
Yeah.
Right?
Right. So, yeah, and that's a good point too. People don't need to listen to your conversation anymore. You tell it voluntarily.
Yeah.
All of that.
I know where we are every second of the day.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, this is a serious crisis. Very, very serious. And if we don't take the best choice, which is the vaccine, you know, we're all gonna suffer. We're gonna suffer real bad.
So Jojo, we've decided you have to take the vaccine.
No.
Hey. So yeah.
We can't
so you just got to depend on other people to take it?
No.
Or you think you're immune already?
Yo, because we feel like we'll go over there tonight. You have one deep freeze over there? How cold is the refrigerator over there?
I'm gonna tell my mommy on you.
What? Damn it, I'm gonna give her too.
She'll take it.
Yeah,
yes, and she should.
Yeah, everybody again. If we have to hold on a guy and game.
You know, we asked Daddy the other day, and didn't give an answer. But hey, you know, I mean, him didn't give a yes or no. But I think he can be convinced. I mean, he's 83 years old. You know, so.
Uncle Pete too laid back. He don't care either way.
It's like,
that's a cool dude on there.
Let me tell you something, Jojo. You see,
yes,
from what I spoke to one of my Surgeon General friends, you know.
Surgeon General friends?
Yes.
Our surgeon friends. You know, Surgeon General.
I know what.
Oh, you mean? Actual Surgeon General of the United States?
Yes.
You have to lie.
Yes. Not United States. No.
Of Jamaica?
No. You know, you have Surgeon General in different states, right?
Okay, so Surgeon General of Texas?
No, not Texas.
Our Surgeon General of your house?
No, not from my house.
No,
but anyway, what he was saying is that if you do contract COVID and it damages your lungs, right, it does not repair.
Yeah, lung scarring. That's what they say. Yeah. It's a permanent effect you're talking about. Even if people live, people are having hell months later.
So you won't breathe properly again. So when you do the bogle move, now go
I one bogle I hit done.
when you try to do the wacky dip and you go down and you have to breathe.
You not come up back.
You know, so me just lay it out for you. I just said go.
Yeah. Right? So yeah, Jojo. So think about it. You know, I was looking at people talk like New Zealand. Like a friend of mine was saying that, you know, she has a sister who lives in New Zealand, and at this point right now in New Zealand, things are back to normal. People hanging out without masks, going to sporting events, place full, because they control this thing when it came out.
Yes.
So they say New Zealand has a population of 5 million, and they have 25 deaths from COVID.
And I think they only had 300 and something cases in general for the whole thing.
Yeah.
But you have to understand, you know, Chris, this is the thing. You know, you can't trust a New Zealand government, right? Because I heard that what they were also doing was they had a food packaging plant where they were actually taking food to people so they didn't have to come out of their house at all. Right, so they locked the place down completely.
Yeah,
you know that could never happen in America because these people they're not going to listen.
Everybody wants to do their own thing. So so if just based on the amount of people who have died in New Zealand to the US, of course, it's a much smaller population. If the US did as good a job as New Zealand did, there would be like 1,500 people who have died. If you look at the amount of people who have died to the population versus the US, it would have been like 1,500 people have died. And, so the Prime Minister was saying, once this thing first came out, the health professionals came to her and said, look, we do not have the hospital capacity to deal with this. So we are going to have to control it. And so that's what they did. They did, they stop all flights coming from New Zealand.
Lock everything down.
And lock everything down for just a month. Mm-hmm. And so when they did that, from they did that, they went like 100 and something days without any more cases. Mm-hmm. And then she was saying that they had, in the summer, they had a breakout, so probably somebody traveling from somewhere, and then they had a big outbreak, and they do the same thing again, lockdown again, and they haven't had any issues since. And so they pretty much eliminated it from their population, before any vaccine, before anything. With the US, just because things are, besides the fact that we have incompetent leadership in office at the head of the government right now, this is a country where people just kind of want to do their own thing. They want to be told what to do. It's my right. It's my right. It's my right to kill you if I want to kill you. You know what I mean? So it's frustrating for something like this. When you see how much argument going on about just putting on a freaking mask. And I remember saying this at the time that these weak ass measures that we do to try and contain this, if people not really doing it, it's going to extend this thing, and it's going to, make things worse from both a health and an economic standpoint, and that's where we are. So
it's just like that lady was telling the guy, "You can't tell me to get out of your store because I don't want to wear a mask." Yes, he can. It's his store, right? Yes, he can. Right. So I mean, the discipline that we needed, we didn't have here, and the leadership was poor. So I mean, it's just trust in general. If you don't have that kind of trust with your government, you're not going to listen to the government, and then when we really need them to show leadership, it won't work. It won't work.
Or if you don't trust phone like Bojo.
You think a phone? You never trust the Jamaican government either. He said, "Free my people."
Free my people. Free! Free! Bojo, that's it on you. Oh man. Anyway, so Jojo, I think you have to take this vaccine. That's the bottom line. That's where we come down.
I want a little joke, man. You were good. One little
joke. Joke girl. Indians and Redskins. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
So this just come up last night, man, because I went to Lamar High School. Lamar High School's mascot was the Redskins.
Redskins.
Was it?
Yep. Lamar Redskins. Redskins, for those who may not know, is an extremely racist term in reference to Native Americans and scalping Native Americans. Basically genocide. It's an homage to genocide. that's what Redskins is. And so after years and years of fighting, the Washington Redskins, so Lamar changed their name 5 years ago to the Lamar Texans, which I could have done better on that with the name. But anyway, they changed the name 5 years ago. And the Washington Redskins, after years of saying, no, we're not changing it. After the George Floyd murder and everybody up in arms, they finally decided, okay, well, I guess we have to do something now. And they changed their name, to the Washington football team. I think that's a temporary name. I think they're going to get a real name eventually. But they got enough pressure where they said we're not keeping this name and this racist name and this mascot. So in the past couple, I think like this week or last week, the Cleveland Indians. The name itself, isn't racist to me. Well, I'm not Native American.
It is. I'm telling you
I'm not arguing that part. That part. But of course, I've seen their mascot. And it's the same. Indian. Stereotypical. Like a Sambo character. That I do that for black people. So the same thing. And so they've decided that they're going to change their name. I haven't heard their new name yet, but they decided Cleveland Indians isn't, they kind of roll like that. So the reason why this came up is a couple friends of mine, a friend of mine who I went to Lamar High School, Lamar Redskins with, made a post late last night talking about how, have you been to the Lamar alumni group lately? I have to see what they're talking about because the people are up in arms about the name. So again, Lamar changed their name 5 years ago. So what? They didn't make noise about it 5 years ago, but now they've decided, oh, this political correctness, this is nonsense, and it's not offensive. Like telling other people should be offensive to them or not, and it's just. It's basically a bunch of, and so what I think has changed within those 5 years is basically who is at the head of the government right now. And because, for one, he said it when the Cleveland Indians decided to change their name, Trump, this cancel culture needs to stop, Cleveland Indians. And so you think of Lamar High School is in the middle of River Oaks, right? Of the wealthiest neighborhoods in certainly in Houston. I saw a lot of people who went to Lamar are wealthy white people, entitled white people. So they feel that they should be able to be racist as possible, and you can't do anything about it. So I couldn't even bother comment on any of those posts because I would end up staying up all night arguing with people. But especially let me kick it off with you. Is there any validity to the point that they say that, hey, it's just paying homage to Native American culture? It's part of our history. Why are we trying to erase history? Is there any validity to that? Or should they be sensitive to the fact that something that was cool for them in high school is actually extremely racist? Where do you come down on that?
It is because people need to understand that Indians didn't call themselves Indians. It was the white Americans that came here called them Indians. They didn't want to be called Indians. And on top of that, they took it a next step forward and they called them Redskins when they wanted to be derogatory about who these people are. So that's just like saying, okay, the Lamar Blacks. Right, and that is from calling them. Before that, you would call them the Lamar niggers, right? That is bad.
That's what they call us anyway.
Yeah. So people don't understand. This calling them Native Americans Native Americans just became politically correct afterwards because before they call them Indians. These people didn't want to be called Indians. All their script. I went to Colorado when I was working with the state, and I went on a reservation. These people don't want to be called Indians. I don't know why we're calling them Indians. Right? First of all, they're not from India, right? But because they look right.
Until you said that tonight, I have never thought of the fact that Indians is what others call them. They don't call themselves that. I've never thought about that before. Yeah,
they don't call
like I know Indians,
It's just like the white people call us blacks. We didn't call ourselves blacks.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Skin color is not a nation.
Yeah.
right? That is just what they use to describe what we look like, right? So you know, it's offensive, and until you understand that, you know, you won't see why it is offensive and why you should stop, right? Because I mean, it's been going on for a long time, so people think, oh, that's part of my culture. Yes, it's part of your culture, but it's not part of everybody else's culture. You can't put a culture on somebody and then say it's everybody's culture. No, right?
Yeah.
You grow up. It's just like if you're in a racist home and you grow up calling black people the N-word. You think that's part of your culture. It's not. It's not. Right?
You just grew up around racists who
Yes,
wanted to be racist.
exactly. Right? It's not part of your culture. It's the same thing with Fort Bragg. Everybody knows who that racist general was. And, you know, nobody wanted to change the name because, oh, you know, he's a cultural icon. Yes, for white people, right?
Yeah.
But you're not the only people that live here. You're not the only people that live here. So, you know, so you have all these racist generals who have statues all over the place, and they did such horrible things, you know, to black and brown people over the years. White people look at it and say, oh, that's part of our culture. Yes, it's part of your culture, but it's not part of our culture.
So that was going to be my next question. Like all the, you know, so this country obviously has a very, very racist history and present, founded on genocide, built on slavery, and white people have been trying to hold their own ever since. That's the history of this country in a couple of sentences. So that means like a lot of our street names, building names, all these things are named after extremely racist, evil
very
people.
Bad people. Very bad people.
Very bad people. So, do you think that it is worthwhile to go and try and rename all these streets, all these buildings, remove these statues, or do we move on and try to do better? What do you think we should do?
No, we have to change. The culture is the problem, and that is what we have to change. You know, you have to change the way how, especially the younger kids, look at life. Because if you keep these things up, the culture is still going to stay the same, right? Because things are going to be taught the same way. Yes, they have alternative materials that they could get, but the main part of what they are taught is going to be the same. You have to change that culture, because if you don't change the culture, you can't change the future or the outcome, right? It's just like, okay, a Memorial Hospital. You know, it used to be called the Negro Hospital. They don't call it that anymore. Yeah. They don't call it that anymore.
Hey,
right? Because
on Nikki's birth certificate,
yeah,
you know, it for race, it says Negro.
Yes, it used to be.
Wasn't that long ago?
Right. So you can't say that anymore. And a lot of smart people, you know, have saw it and said, we can't really call it Negro Hospital anymore, right?
Yeah.
Because it kind of looks bad. So they change it. Right? So you have to understand that we have to change these names, how we educate the kids if we want a better future for everybody, not just for some people, for everybody, right? So you might think, oh, this is your white culture, this is what we should do, we should keep it. No, this is America's for everybody, not just for you or for what you think is culturally yours. No, it's for everybody. Everybody lives here, not just you.
So, you know, as long as I've lived in this country, you know, 30 something years, it was not until about 2 years ago that I ever actually see Native Americans in real life.
Oh yeah.
I took a business trip to South Dakota,
Okay.
and that's the first time I've seen Native Americans.
Mm.
You know, so that does make you know how bad this country did the original inhabitants of. You can't even find them. They just kind of put them off in certain places. You know, in these reservations, you only in these places. But for the original inhabitants of this country, I mean, they really, you know, besides killing off, you know, tons of them once, you know, European people came here, things that they put into place ever since to keep them down. I mean, where you can barely even see them. Like, you know, there's that Chris Rock joke when he was like, you know, he went to like a Thanksgiving parade, and it's like they didn't even have enough real Native Americans in that parade. You know, it's like they had one Native American and a bunch of Puerto Ricans. You know? Yeah. So you know that's all this. And it's funny we should be talking about this topic because this glass that I have right now that I took from a bar in South Dakota. I like the glass, and it said Sioux Falls, South Dakota. But yeah, that's how this country has done Native Americans. You don't even see them. I don't think there are two of them in Texas, in the whole state of Texas. It's
there's a couple of them still here. Them
yeah, a couple. Like I said, two. It's probably two of them. Yeah, man. So
there's still towns, there's still cities, big cities like Oklahoma that the Native Americans legally own.
Yeah.
Right.
The reservation. They put them on these plots. So here's your 100 acres. Take that and go on.
No, I'm talking about downtown cities. The land that the city was built on is owned by them, but they got pushed off of it.
But if you think of the millions of acres that they had to themselves before, give them a couple casinos and say take that and go on. Jojo, what do you think? You've been busy putting work over us.
Whatever.
Let's hear your thoughts.
So my thing is, I'm not Native American.
You're not?
I feel like I don't have a say. Shut up.
Of course you do.
For people,
you're human.
People who are up in arms about it, and this is just an example, if Native Americans don't have a problem with it, why do you? And like you said,
true.
Why do they have sorry, my computer froze. Mm-hmm. Like you said, why do they have a problem with it now, 5 years later, after the name has been changed? My thing is, I'm not them, so I'm not going to be up in arms about it all of a sudden. I'm not Native American. And to take it a step further, it wasn't until I lived in Arizona, much like a lot of people who travel to all these other states, that I know about what really goes on in the Native American culture. I didn't know, like you, that they don't call themselves Indians. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't know the depth of it. Yeah. And I mean, I admire these people. The ones I met, I mean, they were so kind and so knowledgeable and just like reserved and, full of pride in their culture. And it was amazing. I mean, I've traveled a lot of places, and so it was nice.
They're reserved because they live on reservations.
You know what? Sydney Rose is your child. That sounds like something she would say. No, but seriously, my just like with African American people, if we don't have a problem with something, why would a Caucasian person jump up and have a problem with it?
I mean,
that could be anything. That could be anything. That has to do with us in particular.
I believe right is right, wrong is wrong. I can feel another person's pain without having to walk in their shoes. If someone tells me that they're offended by something, right, it doesn't matter if I agree with them or not. They're offended by it. Right. Which is
what I just said. Like, if Native Americans had a problem with, let's say, Lamar Redskins, you know, and if some of the alumni were Native Americans, and they were
it's the white people who were like, no, you know, it's cancel culture. This PC stuff has to see. That's when the Democrat, you know, and then they get all in that. It's basically just a bunch of Trumpy. You know, look, these are entitled people who haven't heard a lot of no's in their life, who believe that they can, you know, still call women broads. They can, you know, do whatever. And if you say anything against it, it is being PC. Every time I hear it, it makes my skin crawl. That's political correctness. No, it's just saying you can't just be an asshole your whole life without being called on it. You know. So,
what did Kalo say about it? She went to Lamar. AK.
Our only thing is we don't like Texans. It's like they didn't even try. Right? I mean, you know, it's like, oh, we live in Texas. How about the Lamar Texans? Come on. They could have tried like Rough Riders or shit Oilers, something, anything besides Lamar Texans. But hey, anyway, Black Girl Magic. So Jojo, if anybody comes to the desk right now, tell them I'm talking Black Girl Magic for a little bit.
Look, I'm about to close the door to the office.
I think we're living in it's a few things very visible things have happened in the past few months, which, you know, as fathers here of you know, Black girls, it's just powerful, right? First, for Kamala Harris to be elected vice president, so they have that to look forward to. You have Joy Reid, Black MSNBC anchor, becoming the first Black woman to host a primetime news show every day. So you have, you know, so the perspective of that's there every day. You have another young lady, Tiffany Cross, that, you know, another Black woman who's a show on MSNBC. MSNBC, they have a new president coming in January of 2021, also a Black woman. One of the key scientists behind the research for the COVID vaccine is a Black woman. You know what I mean? So, you know, obviously we know Black women have been shining in all kinds of different ways for a long time. But at this time, in these very visible roles, I think it is tremendously impactful. So, Jojo, talk to us about that Black Girl Magic. What does this moment mean to you as the Black woman representative on our program tonight?
So,
preach!
Stop it. As a Sagittarius, as a Black woman, I feel the need for it. Long time coming. But it's funny because, in a way, can I curse? We've always ran shit, okay? In a nutshell. Whether we want to...
we got kicked off CNN. All right, go.
Whatever. Whether we get recognition for it or not, because a lot of movies that I've watched or TV shows that talk about slavery say how the Black women are the one that used to take care of both the homes they work for and their own homes, and raise white children for the slave masters, and, you know, change their diapers, even go as far as breastfeed them. I don't know how true that is, but okay, fine. But I mean, that just goes to show you, since the beginning of time, we've always had the power within us, whether we get the recognition or not, like I said, and we're finally being recognized. People are finally giving it a name, Black Girl Power. I mean, I love it. I embrace it. I pray that every parent of a Black girl proudly instills that in them, as well as Black boys growing up to be Black men that marry these Black women and support these Black women, because they're going to have to know how to support these powerful Black women and not take them as the enemy, or somebody they have to compete with, or somebody they can't measure up to, or what have you. take away the stigma of that strong Black women are difficult, have an attitude, need to know their place. No, I mean, it is what it is. We've earned it. I'm so proud of our Madam Vice President. Um, I'm grateful for Joe Biden actually, because just in general, on a whole, from what I've seen on TV, he's bringing a lot of color to the White House.
Yep.
He's bringing a lot of diversity to the White House. So let's just
Yep.
put that out there for a minute.
Yeah,
But,
it's for real. Yep.
and then that's again still going to open doors for us, not just Madam Vice President, but all of these people of color who know what the struggle is like, who know what it's like to scream at the top of your lungs and feel like your voice is not being heard.
Yep. Yep.
And so I try to carry myself that way. I don't settle for less, and I feel no woman should have to. We all deserve the best. And
it's magic.
It's magic, baby.
Preach, Jojo, preach.
It's magic.
Especially.
Yeah.
What you say? Talk about that black girl magic.
You know, as the father of a black daughter, I am happy to see where, you know, the direction that black women are headed in terms of achieving more, you know, being more successful and having a brighter future. Because, you know, this country came a long way. You know, of course, in 1920 was the first time women could ever vote, right? It seems like it's a long time ago, but it really is not, right? So when you look at where we've come in 100 years, I can see where we could come, where we could go in another 50 years, right? Right now, 100 years later, we have a black vice president. That's a woman, right? Only after 100 years, right? The slaves would have told you, well, I'm sorry. The people held as slaves would have said that would not be possible. My grandfather would have said it would not be possible, right? Because it was difficult to see then. So now that we're at this point, we have to just be more and more positive in what we're thinking, try and get these black girls to push harder, you know, and farther than they could be. And hey, maybe in 10 years or so, we might have a black female president, right? You know, we never know what we can achieve. Never, right? Because even when I got here, I never thought, you know, listening to the comedians, I never thought we'd have anybody even half black get to the White House.
I couldn't see it either.
Right? And look what has happened. So, you know, I think we've always been, you know, limitless, especially as a race. We've always been limitless. So, you know, we have to accept our truth and make it happen. We can achieve anything. You know, one of the funniest things I've ever heard my grandmother say, she's like, I guess, you know, you can truly be anything you really want in this country, you know. And it's funny to me. And I heard one comedian say, which I found funny too, when Barack Obama's mom told him he could be president, he actually believed
Nice.
So, you know, you can believe in yourself, move forward. That's how I see it.
Yeah, you know, so when we think about just over the past, you know, 20 years, you know, yes, we didn't, it was hard to envision seeing a black president. And, you know, then, you know, it took somebody, you know, who was just, you know, he had to be on the top of his game in every aspect.
Course.
He had to be the very smartest. He had to be the most charismatic, the best speaker, the cleanest, you know, handsome, all that. You know, he had to have one wife, no ex-wife, and then, you know, just one wife. You have to have all of that. And then that was, besides the fact that, you know, I believe he was a great president, just that symbol of a black man married to a black woman in the White House with two young black girls, that we sat and saw that class for 8 years.
Yes.
We can't quantify the importance of that. And then, we took a, step back with Trump, but now to have a black woman, that, for my daughter, when I can, I look at her and, say, here is a black woman. Her father is from Jamaica, just like your father is from Jamaica. Her parents are immigrants, just like your father is an immigrant. And she has climbed to this high position. I think it's very, so now when I encourage her, in every single thing she does, whether she's playing soccer or piano or, she loves science, whatever. Me and Nikki both do this. You can do there is no limit. You can do every single thing you want to do.
Yes.
Write songs, whatever. And she loves writing and drawing and doing all these sorts of things. And so to have these powerful symbols of black woman achievement on the highest level on our TVs every single day, creating shows, Shonda Rhimes and, doing all these things. So these aren't just words that I'm speaking to you that you can be anything that you want to be. Here are people who have done it. I just think that's extremely powerful, so, it's coming off these past 4 years, which has been, we've just all been in shock for 4 years straight. I can see light at the end of the tunnel. I can see hope, right? I'm a person, I'm a glass half full type of person. It's been very difficult at times these past 4 years to see that full half of the glass. Now I can see it, and it's not, and Georgia, you mentioned Joe Biden, to, big him up. Yes, I think that we should big him up for one, for daring to select a woman, daring to select a black woman as his running mate. Coming after Donald Trump and all his racism and all his misogyny, all that, for daring to make that selection and say, you know what, that is who will give me the best chance of winning. And he did that, so big him up for that. And after winning, now selecting the most diverse cabinet I have ever seen.
Yeah.
More diverse than Obama picked. Because, Obama had to kind of, he's black, but he couldn't go all in and be too black, and just pick a bag of black people. Couldn't really do that.
Yeah.
So, and that's it, by, Secretary of Defense, picking a black man there, and all these different positions, putting black people in all these positions. So now you have that model of black leadership, black people in high places achieving big things. That's going to be powerful. So you're not just seeing them dunking basketballs and rapping and dancing. Now, that's fine. But to see that we can do all these other things and see that example in front of us every day is very powerful to our kids. So, this is an important time in history. And, it's our time. Well, as we started off with Latin, let's end on Latin. It's our time to shine. Free Latin. Anyway, all right, well, I'll lock it off now. Jojo, you've come back right in time for us to lock it off. Give us some words of wisdom on your way out.
Continue to wear your masks, please, for the love of God. Stop trying to fight people who are asking you kindly to wear your mask. But
stop fighting woman over your man in the Galleria Mall.
Oh my God. We're not even gonna go there.
Right. That's a video on the Just Reasoning group. Anyway, go on.
Yes, go check out that video, y'all. But no, and it's funny you mentioned that because I was just gonna say going back to Black Girl Magic, ladies, young ladies coming up, little girls, please just take more pride in yourself, what you do, what you choose to say, how you choose to behave, public or private. And not to be biased, but I love Sydney Rose Walters to death. And she is such a bright little girl with such a bright future. And she's such a sweetheart. And she's not arrogant about it. And believe me, there are some little kids who are arrogant about what they've been given from their parents.
We ain't having that.
Nikki and Chris have groomed this little girl to be polite and friendly and loving and well-rounded. And that has carried me a very far way in life. It can almost relate to anybody because of how my parents raised me as a well-rounded person. And Sydney Rose is going to be able to get along with anyone, work wherever she wants to work, and people will respect her and love her for that. And so big up C-Dub and Dr. Walters on that. So I'll end on that.
and she gonna be the boss too.
Exactly. Well, yes. She can own whatever she wants to own.
Yes. Yeah, man. Thank you, Jojo. Dr. Special.
Yeah, man.
Or infectious disease specialist.
Yo, Jojo, man, like the forward that you get SRP, you know?
SRW.
No, a P, man. Perfect. SR, perfect.
SR, all right.
W,
Okay.
not W.
All right.
You think something I know me I talk about, but anyway. Right? No, I like that. And I second what Jojo said, you know. I mean, once upon a time, it was difficult, as you said, for, you know, women, especially Black women, to see a bright future. You know, it's easier to see now, right? You know, everything is in the open now. Black women are achieving, you know, so you don't have any excuse now by saying the man is holding you down. You are the only person holding yourself down, right? People don't really care about holding other people down like that now, right? Yes, you might get a 1-on-2 fight, right? But that is not people holding you down. If you don't achieve these days, it's you really holding yourself down, right? So don't make that be a factor, right? And I mean, you know, just be patient. Just be patient with other people out there. Be respectful of other people out there, right? Yeah, you might not get the vaccine right now, but it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah, man.
Right.
Just wait, Jojo. Right. It soon come. Just wait your turn.
Right. I don't want to hear any foolishness in the past. People breaking in and trying to steal the vaccine because them feel like they're not gonna make it to you, right? Don't do anything that stupid. You know, I know they're taking very, very, very big precautions right now. You know, places where it's stored is top secret. You know, even though the media will give you 1 or 2 little hints. But, you know, people just be civilized, right? I want to believe that, you know, the powers that be have our best interest at heart. And everybody, it will get to everybody eventually. Because they have to consider that they have to live in this world too. So if they don't fix everybody, they're going to die too, right? So just be patient and, you know, wear your mask, as Jojo say, and be positive.
Yeah, man. Yes, Jojo, your vaccine time soon come. My final words on the show tonight, final thoughts. It's the topic we ended on just now. You know, Black Girl Magic, the Black woman. Some of my best friends are Black women. You know, the son of a beautiful Black woman, married to a beautiful, strong, intelligent Black woman, raising a beautiful, strong, intelligent Black girl. I'm very aware of just the power of representatives and who our daughter sees on a daily basis, who she looks up to. So whether it be Black women in science, Black women in politics, Black women in business, in government, I love the fact that she has this image of who she can become. And she knows them by name. She knows Mae Jemison as the astronaut. She knows Kamala Harris as the vice president. She knows all these Black women who are achieving big things. And, you know, that is just to show just what Black women have achieved. You know, we as Black men go through a lot. Black women go through that double, right? Because we get the Black part, but we don't get the, being disregarded because of our gender. We don't get that part. So Black women have to deal with that double. So to achieve, in spite of all that, it's a powerful thing, and I'm glad to see it. I'm glad that representation will mean a lot more, and I'm glad that these Black women in these powerful positions will use their powerful positions to advance our causes as people, as Black people, and as Black women. So it's I think this is a very important time in our history, and there's no better time to raise a Black girl. So, and I thank every Black woman out there doing big things and showing my daughter what she can become, because it is because of you that I can point an example. I can talk to her and tell her all these different things, but by having these actual examples to point to, it's because of Black Girl Magic.
Helps, yeah.
So big up on herself, love on her. All right, so with that, thank you for this, joining us tonight on this edition of Just Reasoning. Georgia, big up yourself. Thank you for jumping in at the last second. Dep on the people and work. Yeah, man. So tell the boss this week's check is on me. I joke. Don't tell him that. Him or her. Anyway, so thank you for joining us. Wednesdays, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Just Reason. Check us out on justreason.com or on rebelTV.tv. We will talk about Rebel TV a little bit more in the upcoming weeks, because we have some very interesting things coming out on that, different programming from all across the Caribbean. So stay tuned for that. We'll give that some more promotion later on. But thank you for joining us every Wednesday, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Link us up on Facebook, facebook.com/MySoulRebel. Search for Just Reasoning, hashtag Just Reasoning, and join us next week. If you like this video, you like what we have to say, share this, tell somebody, tell your friend, and tell that friend to tell 3 more friends, and let's do this. All right? Big up on yourself, people. One love.
One love, nation.